Well, greetings, everybody. Is it Friday already?
Yes.
It's hard to believe. Gosh, the General Assembly has been absolutely full throttle this week, and it's been just a blur of activity. Well, Jerry and Sharon, let's just jump right into NC Family's weekly update. To start things off, you've probably heard that the House did pass the sports gambling bill this week after 2 days of debate on the House floor on Tuesday and Wednesday, and a flurry of amendments that were all rejected. House Bill 347 passed the chamber by a vote of 64 to 45. Despite our great disappointment with the passage of this bill, we were very heartened by the numerous House members on both sides of the aisle who gave really compelling testimony and offered some really good amendments to try to address the most egregious parts of the bill. Unfortunately, those efforts were not successful. And Jerry, I think you commented that if someone walked into the legislative chamber, the House chamber, just off the street and heard the debate that took place on the sports gambling bill, they would have no other option but to oppose the bill because the testimony that was given was so strong in opposition to the bill. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. Now House Bill 347 proceeds to the Senate, and of course a similar sports gambling bill passed the Senate last session, but there was a lot of opposition to it in that chamber, and we also heard that there were members who had supported the bill who had serious misgivings about it as more truth about the bill came to light after the bill had come out of that chamber. So we're very hopeful and very prayerful that that truth will prevail, that righteousness will prevail, and the Senate will see fit to discard this bill and not vote for it. Before we leave this issue today, I think it's really important that we say thank you to the members of the State House who courageously stood up in opposition to this legislation. We actually sent out an email on Wednesday evening providing a list of members both on the Republican side and the Democratic side who opposed the sports gambling bill on the House floor. We're going to link to that email below this video, and really want to encourage you, after you watch the video, don't go there now, but after you watch the video, go to that link, open that email, and find lawmakers in the House who represent the county that you're from. Just give them a call. You can click on their name. It's a hyperlink to their legislative webpage. You can click on their name, give them a call, and just say thank you. If you get a voicemail, just leave a message, or you can send them an email, or better yet, do both. But it's really important that we say thank you to legislators when they do things that we believe in. So please take action on that. So Jerry, the House is also moving at near record speed on the budget bill. We saw a lot of activity on that this week. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the Speaker Tim Moore did indicate that they were about a month ahead of what I think they would call the normal schedule on the budget. So they are moving quickly. They were finalizing their deliberations this week, are going to be voting next Wednesday and Thursday on the budget.
On the floor.
That's correct. Yep. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's been in committee actually for hours yesterday with proposed amendments. Will be on the floor next Wednesday and Thursday. It passes there, we'll go to the Senate. The House and the Senate this year have agreed to many things in the budget. That hadn't always been the case. The overall budget is around $30 billion. Just to point out two of the provisions in the House proposal that we're very encouraged by, which they have done in the past but are increasing even more, the pregnancy ministries across the state. Human Coalition will be $10 million over the next 2 years. The Carolina Pregnancy Care Fellowship would be $12.5 million. They represent over 80 ministries across the state, pregnancy care ministries. So we're greatly encouraged about that.
Yes.
In addition, the Opportunity Scholarship is going to be increased as far as the overall budgeting for that. They recently increased the amount, made it a percentage, so it will gradually increase, which will allow more and more families who want to choose non-public schools to have that opportunity to apply for these scholarships. So those are two important ongoing efforts that are continuing.
Right. Great. Thank you, Jerry. We will keep you updated on what's happening with the budget, so stay tuned on that. There's a lot in the budget bill, as always.
Yep.
But as Jerry pointed out, some really good provisions, and we're excited to see that. So we're still actually kind of combing through it ourselves to understand everything that's in there. So we will keep you apprised as other items come to light. So thank you, Jerry. And Sharon, we actually saw the House and Senate override a gubernatorial veto this week.
We did.
This is, well, I won't say historic, but it's historic recently because, well, tell us about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So on Wednesday, despite being one vote shy of having a supermajority in the House, the Republicans did vote on the Senate Bill 41 titled Guaranteed Second Amendment Freedom and Protections. And this is significant because unlike in the Senate, the Republicans do not have a supermajority. They are one vote short of that. So when they go to override, they are going to need the help of at least one Democrat to get the votes that they need to do that. In this case, Speaker Moore announced on Tuesday afternoon that on Wednesday they would be having the vote. And then when they opened session on Wednesday, there were 3 Democrats that were absent, which shifted the numbers in the Republicans' direction, and they ended up overriding with a vote of 71 to 46. The day before, the Senate had voted 30 to 19 to down party lines pretty much to override, and so they were successful in the override, and it is the first gubernatorial veto since 2018.
Yeah, so the legislature, I think Governor Cooper has vetoed 40-something bills over the last 2 legislative sessions, and Republicans just simply have not had the votes in either the House or the Senate to override the veto. Maybe they had one in one chamber in the Senate, but they couldn't muster the votes in the House to complete the override.
Right.
So they've not been able to override the governor's veto since, as you said, 2018. So this is really significant, and it shows how just a few members being absent can sway the percentages and enable that to take place. And also the Speaker has said at the beginning of the session that he believes on a number of issues that the governor may veto, that they actually have an effective veto-proof majority, and they've been working hard to kind of work across the aisle and bolster those relationships with Democrats so that they do effectively have a veto-proof supermajority in the House and can override the veto. But, of course, all that's yet to be seen. Politics really come into play when you're talking about a gubernatorial veto and an override. So we'll see how that plays out in future bills that the governor may express his displeasure with. So, yeah. Jerry, any perspectives or thoughts on that?
No, just a quick note on that. A lot of times when there's a veto override being considered, they will wait until they get in the chamber, count around the room, and then announce there's going to be a vote. In this case, they announced the day before, so people had notice. So that was an even stronger indication. You know, I don't know why members were absent, but there was plenty of notice. Sometimes people go, well, government shouldn't work the other way. Well, technically it can, but I think it's even better in this case the way they let people know this is going to happen so people could be there to vote if they needed and wanted to be.
Yeah, well, great. Well, Jerry, Sharon, thank you so much. Friends, as always, thank you for your time and attention. That's it for this week's weekly update. Next Friday is Good Friday. So we're going to not record a video next Friday, but keep your eyes and ears open in your email inbox for any emails and action alerts that we may be sending out because the legislature is still active and very much in session. So we will see you the week following next week. But God bless you. Have a wonderful Holy Week and a wonderful Easter. We pray blessings over you and your family. Again, thank you for your support and your attention. God bless.